Hello and welcome back for another Torah Tuesday. I have so missed interacting with all of you over this year in which I wasn't posting videos. So welcome back. I'm excited to dive in with you. We're going to pick up right where we left off last year, actually with my last Exodus video, which was on Exodus chapter 3. I have one more piece to pick up in Exodus 3 before we move on to Exodus 4. So today we're in Exodus 3 verses 19 and 20, which has a very strange sentence in it. It reads, "I know that the king of Egypt will not let you go unless a mighty hand compels him." That's what it says in the NIV, and God is giving Moses his instructions for what to do, what to say when he arrives back in Egypt. But this sentence is strange and hard to translate. So that second half of the verse says in the NIV, "unless a mighty hand compels him." Now, in Hebrew, the phrase is "velo bayad chazakah." Now, the v that you hear at the beginning is the Hebrew conjunction vav, which is often translated and, but in Hebrew, the conjunction is a lot more flexible than our English and. It can mean and, but, by, so that. It depends on the context. So the big question here is, what is going on? A wooden translation would be, "and not with a strong hand." So I know that the king of Egypt will not let you go, and not with a strong hand. So is it and? Is it but? Is it unless? Is it except? How are we supposed to understand this? And part of answering that question is figuring out whose hand are we even talking about? So the king of Egypt's not going to let you go. Is it because his hand is strong or Yahweh's hand is strong? Who has the strong hand here, and how is it playing in? So there's three main options that I see going on in this verse. The first option is to understand it as even if. So Pharaoh's not going to let you go even if Yahweh's strong hand compels him. And this would mean that eventually Pharaoh himself is going to give you permission. So you can't wrangle the people out of his hand. He's going to actually give you permission to go. That'd be one way to read it. Another way to understand it, second view, would be to read it as but. So with this second view, the idea is that the king of Egypt isn't going to let you go. Because his own hand is not strong enough. So Pharaoh's not going to let you go, but his strong hand of trying to not let you go won't be strong enough. So Yahweh will be able to bring the people out of Egypt. That would be another way of reading it. And a third view is to understand it as unless. So the king of Egypt will not let you go unless a mighty hand compels him, which is how the NIV reads it. Now, this way of translating the phrase is unattested in any other passage. Like, we don't have other examples of the vav functioning this way, but this is how the majority of English translations and how the Septuagint, the Greek translation of the Old Testament, also takes it. So if we understand it that way, then the idea is he's going to be resistant, but Yahweh is going to have a stronger hand, and he's going to force a showdown in which Pharaoh will have to respond. So if we take this third view, which I think is plausible, then we end up with a chiasm or a literary sandwich. And here's how it works. A is the king will not allow you to go. B is except with a strong arm. So he's not going to let you go unless you strong arm him. So I will stretch out my arm. That matches the strong arm. And afterwards, he will send you out. So Yahweh is going to meet Pharaoh's resistance in the way that's required by that resistance. So the king won't allow you unless someone with a strong arm comes in, but Yahweh has a strong arm. So he's going to come in and he's going to send you out. That's the dynamic, I think, in verses 19 and 20. Now, verse 20 also says that Yahweh will strike the Egyptians. So I will stretch out my hand and strike the Egyptians with all the wonders that I will perform among them. And that word strike is the same one that we saw back in chapter 2, where the Egyptian struck the Hebrew. Moses sees this happen and he is troubled. So he strikes the Egyptian in verse 12. And then the next day he sees a Hebrew striking a Hebrew. And now Yahweh is striking the Egyptians. So we have four examples of strike, 4 occurrences of strike. And we had another video where I talked about this. The key takeaway here is that although Moses tried to deliver the people back in chapter 2, his deliverance was ineffective because he wasn't doing it in Yahweh's strength, and it wasn't the right timing yet. Here, Yahweh is going to carry out the act against the king of Egypt and the Egyptians that will truly liberate the people from oppression that Moses was unable to do on his own. So because Yahweh is taking up this act of violence, Moses will not have to. So the Israelites leaving will actually be nonviolent because Yahweh is handling the vengeance that's due the Egyptians. So that's what I have for you this week. This punishment fits the crime. God is meeting Pharaoh on his own turf, and he is acting in an appropriate way that is what Pharaoh's actions deserve. I'm excited to see you join us for future videos. If you haven't subscribed yet, take a moment to do that and let your friends know about Torah Tuesday so we can all learn together. Have a great week.